What's up, y'all? It's me, Zamaya Goldsmith, also known as Zamaya G. I am the host of S.E.L.F podcast. S.E.L.F is self-enduring to embrace life's fulfillment. And I'm excited to be back, y'all, with another episode. My second episode of this podcast, and I'm so excited. I think I want to start maybe uploading my episodes like every 2 weeks. I was thinking every week, every Sunday, but I think I'm gonna just do every 2 weeks on Sunday. So here I am. I'm super excited to be back. And I'm just, again, thankful for this podcast that God has blessed me with. And I'm super excited to be here talking with you guys. And as y'all already know, I pray for you guys all the time. And again, I'm happy to be back. Today's episode is going to be very exciting, super exciting, and I'm just astounded because this is my sober-versary episode. So this is kind of like a second part of my testimony that I've already done. If you've not heard that first episode, go ahead and check it out. So yes, I'm super excited to be telling y'all the second part of my testimony, my sober-versary. And yeah, we're gonna just get into it. And if y'all don't know, this podcast is to talk about everything in life, whether if that's spirituality, healing, growing, evolving, and helping others to realize and understand what the fulfillment of life has to offer whenever you make the best of it. So y'all just so excited. Calm down, Zamaya. Oh my god, y'all, I could be so extra. Anyways, yeah, let's get right into this episode, okay? So this is my sober-versary episode, and my sober-versary, it's been 2 years, and in November, I would say around maybe the 15th of November, I hit my 2-year mark of being sober, and that's me like smoking. And when I say smoking, I was mostly vaping. So that's super exciting. Yes, I hit my 2-year mark in November, and I only felt like this was right to do this episode. And so again, as I said multiple times, I'm super excited. So my journey, I hit my 2-year mark in November, and let me just say, I didn't know I was addicted. Let me just say that, because that's what this episode is about, and it's breaking addictions. And I didn't realize that me vaping, me smoking would lead to me being addicted for 5 years. Let's see. Yeah, it would lead to me being addicted 5 years, and I didn't know that would lead into spiritual warfare and a lot of spiritual issues as well too. And it was wild, man. It was crazy. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let y'all know the story. I started vaping whenever I was 17 years old. Again, that was crazy. And let me say that this wasn't something, yes, I was doing this out of school, but y'all, I was doing it in school too. And if you know, and you went to high school with me, you knew, okay? I was smoking the vape. I was on the vapes, okay? And bad, real bad. And I was doing them in school, in class at that, y'all. Like, I would have a vape. Mind y'all, my favorite kind that I had was the blueberry ice. The blueberry ice. It was the puff bar. And it also had one that was like a battery type one that you had to charge, I believe. And yeah, I would do those in school, and I would pass them around school. Hey bro, you got a vape? Hey, you got a vape? Let me hit the vape. And it would be in class. So if you know, because the vape evaporates, like if you inhale the smoke long enough, you won't see the smoke. So what I would do was I would have that vape, inside my hoodie, right? Because I used to wear hoodies really all the time in high school. So I would put the vape inside my hoodie like this, and I would and just inhale it until you can't see the smoke. And it was so bad. Like, y'all, I could not go anywhere without my vape. I'm flipping up the room, tearing up everything to find a vape. When I tell y'all I was so addicted, it was wild. Whenever I'm stressed, I need to hit my vape. Somebody made me mad, I need to hit my vape. Anything, I was going to my vape for every little thing. And it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay because I replaced those worldly things in place of the spiritual things. So my peace worldly was my vape, instead of replacing that with the spiritual things that God has already given us, and that's the spirit of peace. And you know, those fruits of the spirits are in Galatians chapter 5 if you want to go look at it. And I was replacing worldly things instead of getting into my word and replacing it with what God has already given me. And so again, it was bad. And again, don't think I was on some coca or whatever. But again, addiction is addiction, no matter what it is. Immorality is sexual immorality is sexual immorality. Idolatry is idolatry. Addiction is addiction. It is what it is. And this podcast is just not about smoking addictions. It can be drinking, pornography, sex. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Addiction is addiction. And that's just something that we have to get a hold of, and to not be addicted to those things. And it says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's what happened to me whenever I realized that it was a turnaround and change for me during that time. So again, in school, I was vaping, passing it around. I mean, it was just so bad. Going to the bathroom vaping, it was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And so I knew that I did want to stop vaping. I knew I wanted to stop because I felt a conviction. And this conviction was in 2021. And I just felt heavy. Like, you need to put that vape down. That's what it was. And I was like, dang, put the vape down. I love this. And so I knew I wanted to stop though. I knew for a fact that I wanted to stop. And when I tell y'all, it was so difficult. It was so hard for me to stop because God knew I wanted to stop. That's where my heart was. And I just wanted to vape. And it was November in 2021. I was trying, and when I tell you I was trying, I would stop cold turkey vaping. I would be like, okay, on this day I'm gonna stop vaping. Or I would go like periods in time to not vape because I wanted to do it, cut it out so bad. So I was giving myself those periods. And going back, before I jump into that, I want to say that I did smoke weed as well. I wasn't I wasn't heavy on the weed. I just didn't I didn't like how it made me feel sometimes, like all the intrusive thoughts and stuff. So I didn't really tap too much into that, but I did do it. And when I did do it, I had a good time. But that's no longer me anymore, because again, I've been transformed by the renewing of my mind. But going back, I wanted to stop. I would go periods of time trying not to do it, and then I would go get a vape. I'm telling y'all, it was bad. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop. Go right to the smoke shop, get another vape, throw it out the window. Because I wanted to stop so bad. But the flesh was like, give me more. My flesh was fiending for like the dopamine that it was giving. And so my flesh just wanted more and more and more. When my spirit was like, stop, stop, stop. And so again, I would go to the smoke shop, get a brand new vape, y'all. And let me tell y'all, them vapes was not cheap, okay? that was not cheap, and I was spending money. I was making sure I was spending money on the vapes. So I would go to the smoke shop, get a vape, felt convicted, throw it out the window. As soon as I got it, get another one, smoke it. Dang, should be doing it. Throw it out, put it in the garbage can. It was so bad. Like my flesh wanted, all my lungs wanted the vape, okay? And I knew I felt convicted because I would see them smoke ads. And y'all know them smoke ads that I'm talking about. It's an ad, and it's like, it has orange, it's like an orange smoke ad. And it said the nicotine addiction. When I tell you I would skip that ad so quick, don't tell me nothing about the vaping, because I know, don't do that, not too much. So that's another reason, like one of the other reasons I knew I was feeling convicted, because of an ad. Usually I would just brush the ad off like, yeah, okay, what about it? But this time I did not want to hear it. Like, I was not trying to hear none of that. But I would get a vape, throw it out, and then one day, it was November, I want to say, I'm pinning it on the 15th, but I do know it was around like either the 12th through the 15th, but I really want to pin it on the 15th. And I was sitting on my bed, and I was like, I want no more. I want no more. And I made up my mind then that I was going to break the addiction of being addicted to smoking. And from that point forward, in November of 2021, I can say aloud that I have never went back to vaping or smoking. And I'm super proud and happy that God was with me through that trying time, because it was very difficult. And I could have sworn, y'all, that I was gonna go through some type of like withdrawals, like with headaches, because again, y'all, I was using my vape for everything. But y'all, I went through none of that whatsoever. No headaches, no none of that. After that period in time, in November of 2021, I never went back, and I do thank God for being with me and blessing me during that time. And I'm not going to say that during that time I wasn't tempted, because I was. One verse that sticks out to me is Matthew 26:41. And it says, watch and pray so that you will not be tempted. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And so with that, it just shows like, yeah, I was wanting to, but I did it. And I fought the temptations of what my flesh wanted, and had my spirit just override and do what I knew was the right thing to do, because I knew that in order for me to get my life right with Christ, I had to sacrifice some things, and that was me sacrificing to stop vaping. And yeah, I was, wow, to just think about how addicted I was, just wow, because it was so bad. It was so bad. And to the point, y'all, whenever I was vaping, I was doing tricks with the vape, putting the vape to my nose, letting it come out my mouth. Like, it was it was crazy. But I do thank God for being with me during that time and breaking those chains off of me, so I'm no longer a slave to that addiction anymore. And I want to say that you too can be addiction free. You too, those chains can be broken off of you, just as God broke those chains off of me. And I also want to say that don't think that you have to be clean to come to Christ. Christ will accept you for who you are and where you are in your life. And I say that because I heard this analogy, and it was like, whenever you go take a shower, you don't get in the shower clean. My camera does this 30 mark thing and it cut off, I'm sorry. But as I was saying, you don't get into the shower clean. You get into the shower because you're dirty. And so that's how it is whenever we come to Christ. Whenever we come to Christ, God knows where we are. God knows that we need to be cleansed in some areas, but just come to Christ as you are and who you are, and he will do the stripping, he will do the cleaning, he will do all those things and wash you in his blood. So don't ever feel as if, oh well, I have this addiction problem, I can't come to Christ, or I have this situation going on, I can't come to Christ. No, you can come to Christ, and you can come as you are, and he will accept you for who you are, and he will cleanse you again, and he will literally wash you, make you, mold you, and build you into either the woman of God or the man of God that he has called you and created you to be. And so don't ever feel as if you can't come to Christ. Your chains can be broken, and I pray that over you in Jesus' name, that your chains are broken, that you will not have anything that will come across you to destroy you in any kind of way, that will destroy your mind and your way of thinking. And I pray that over you, that chains are broken. From this day forward, chains are broken, and your life can be changed. And he can come and he can save you no matter where you are in your walk of life. And I want to share a verse with y'all that I do have, and it says, it's Isaiah 41:10, and it says, God is with you and able to give you strength no matter what you go through. Y'all, simple. I'm gonna read it again just in case you didn't catch it. God is with you and able to give you strength no matter what you go through. Simple, just like that. And it's so simple. And so with that, it's just so good, because if you're going through addiction, he is able to save you. He is able to bring you strength so you can be able to go through that. Whether the trials or tribulations you face, he is with you, because God does not promise. He does not promise that you won't face difficulties. He does not promise that you won't face fears. He does not promise that you won't face trials and tribulations. But what he does promise is that he is able to be with you and able to bring you and give you strength through it. You see what I'm saying? So that is so profound, because one thing about God, the promises are real. And he's going to stick with his promise. And when he says that he's going to do it, he's going to do it. Because he is a God of yes and amen. Okay? And so that's so good. And I want y'all to take that in and soak that in, that no matter what you're going through, you can get through it. And I have another verse when it comes down to temptation. Because again, don't get me wrong, that during that time, it's not that I didn't not want to vape. Like I wanted to, but it wasn't a strong temptation. Now don't get me wrong, I did think about, like, dang, what if I asked if I hit dead? You know what I mean? But it was literally just, no, it's just don't do it. And I'm just so thankful that I was able to have one of those fruits of the spirit, and that self-control during that time, is to say no, or be bold enough to say, I no longer vape anymore, you know. And it takes power and boldness to be able to stand up for yourself and say no to the things that you no longer do anymore. So this is another verse that I have that leads, that follows, like goes along with temptation, like with Matthew 26:41. But I have another verse, and it's 1 Corinthians 10:13, and it says, no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. That is saying that we are human. Okay, we are human. We are going to have those temptations. And it says, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Y'all see that? Ain't God good? It's so plain and simple. He is with you. He's going to provide a way out so that you don't no longer be tempted. Now, let me just say, now, God will provide a way out, but we also have free will. which means that we choose what to do and how we do it and when we do it. So God is going to provide a way out, but you have to choose to take that way out. You know what I'm saying? So it's so profound and it's so good, and I'm just thankful for what God has done and what he's continuing to do in my life. And I'm so thankful for him just being with me during that time. And I know that God can be with you just as well too. He is with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. And again, always remember and know that he will not put more on you than you can bear. And you do have a way out. Your addictions can be broken. You can no longer be bound to your addictions. And I pray that over your life in Jesus' name. And I know that if you watch and pray, I had to say that again because sometimes we be seeing stuff and we still just be going along with whatever it is that is wrong. So if we watch and pray and do not watch and pray so you don't fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. The flesh is weak. And the devil will try to sway you in so many ways. But again, watch and pray. And always remember that you can come to God just how you are. You don't have to be clean to come to him. He will wash you. He will cleanse you. He will wash you in his blood. And you will be set free just as I'm set free. I've never went back to that. And I'm just thankful for what he has done and what he's going to continue to do in my life. And so that's my story, my second part of my testimony of addiction. And that's breaking addictions, because God did break those chains off of me. I did not go through this process by myself. God was with me during this entire time. And I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for that. So what I take from this, I want to start doing, like at the end of my podcast, asking myself a question. And that's asking myself, what can I embrace moving forward? Because these are things that I endured during my journey. But what I can embrace about the journey and what I endured is that I can embrace that I am free. I can embrace that I am no longer bound to my addictions. And I can embrace that God was with me during this whole process, and he still is with me. He was with me during that time, and he's still with me now. And I can embrace what I endured, because without the spiritual warfare, without the conviction, without all of these things, I wouldn't be where I am today. And that's being addiction free and being sober from the addiction that had me bound. And I like that song. I don't know what it's called, but I hear it all the time. And it's the enemy thought he had me, but Jesus said you are mine. That one. And he thought he had me, but I am free, and I thank God for that. And you can be addiction free too. So this concludes my podcast, my second episode of my podcast. Make sure you go follow me on my socials, and my personal social is _Zamaya with 2 H's _. Follow my Instagram podcast, and it's S.E.L.F Podcast. You can listen to me on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, and I will see y'all in my next episode. And remember, you can be free. You are free. And God can break you from your addictions. Okay? So, y'all, be blessed. Be blessed. Okay. Y'all be blessed, and I'll see y'all in my next episode. Bye.